breakouts. Yay. um, as you can see, I have one. And I'm going to show you how to easily cover this up so it doesn't ruin your flawless makeup. First and foremost, this is covering up. It's not removing the raised bump that a breakout is. So I'm really sorry. I wish I could show you how to do that. Spot treat it with a mask at night, and that'll get rid of the puffiness. But this is just covering over the red. So I'm going to show you with as few steps as possible. I have a lot of different products that I use to cover up, but so that it's accessible for you if you just have like a lighter concealer that you use to highlight in your foundation. When it comes to covering up different colors on your skin, you use the contrasting color on the color wheel. So for red, it would be green. For purple, it would be yellow. I don't keep a green concealer. It's kind of surprising, but it would go bad before I could use all of it. So I use yellow. These are usually pretty dark enough that they're kind of purplish anyway, where you can use a yellow and it covers it up. And I just try to keep it simple. So when it comes to covering up a breakout, first make sure that it is closed. We don't want to cover up an open wound with makeup. It's going to just make it worse, unfortunately. So when my breakout is opened, let's say I just picked at it and got the infection out, and now I'm putting my makeup on because I gotta go. I put makeup around it and just leave it open. It kind of stinks, but I'd rather not have another infection in there because I put product into an open wound. So you make sure it's closed. Number two that we do to keep things sanitary is I don't touch my products to my breakout. For instance, this is my concealing wand that I just touched directly to my skin. I definitely do not put it right on a breakout, even if it's closed, because there might still be bacteria there, and I don't want that on my wand, and then I'm then putting it everywhere else and spreading around bacteria. So for this method, you have to always make sure that when you have a big breakout, you use a brush, not your actual concealing wand. And a lot of like foundations are like that, where they've got a wand built into them. So that's super important to begin with. Number two, when we do this method, once you put the product on the brush and you bring the brush to your face, it's contaminated. So you cannot then go back and put more product on, because you might as well just put it on with the wand. So make sure that when you're doing this method, you have enough product on your brush to then never have to go back to your wand. Make sure you're either cleaning your brush in between as well. So I have a yellow here. This is a little bit more yellow than my concealer, and I'm going to cover up my breakout with it. So I'm putting it on my brush, and I'm putting my brush to my breakout. And I'm covering the whole thing with that yellow. Okay, and then I've got my beauty blender dry because a wet one might take a little bit more product with it. And I am just blending out the edges, not the actual breakout, but the edges onto my skin, so it's easier to conceal. All right, so the redness is gone. And then I'm going back through, now that it's concealed and it's covered up, you can see it's not matching the rest of my skin tone. Now I'm gonna put on my foundation. And I'm gonna be careful with my brush to avoid, I mean, the breakout's covered, so we shouldn't have an issue with bacteria now at this point, but I do avoid it until the end anyway, just to be safe. I do my last part, and I'm gonna pat. And my technique was more of like a brushing down. With this, I'm gonna pat. I'm actually gonna add a little bit more. I'm gonna pat it on the Breakout because I don't wanna remove the concealer that I just spent a little bit of time putting there. This over here, I finish this, and then there we go, pat it up. Okay, and then I'm going to set it so that the color and everything stays there. So I'm getting my beauty blender and I am getting a lot of product on there to set this. And that again is just patting. Okay, so I've set that, and then I'm gonna take my brush and set the rest of my face. All right, and that is how to conceal a breakout. There we go. The redness is gone. You can still see that it's, I mean, again, the bump is there, but the redness is gone. And then from certain angles, you know, if it's in like this, you can't see it at all almost. Then, you know, with the way the light hits it, you're gonna see it. But at least there's no red. If you are, so if this was my regular routine, I wouldn't have set my whole face. I would have put my foundation on, I would have highlighted and contoured and then set my whole face. So it's just a kind of bridge to my routine a little bit, just so I could get the whole skin tone of my face looking even with my Breakout. But that's how you cover up a breakout.